Have you heard? It's truck news.
The Truck Show. We're gonna show you what we know. We're gonna answer what the truck. 'Cause truck rhymes with The Truck Show. We have the lifted, we have the lowered, and everything in between. We'll talk about trucks that run on diesel, electricity, and on gasoline. The Truck Show, the Truck Show, the Truck Show. Oh, oh.
It's The Truck Show with your host, Holman.
This episode of the Truck Show podcast, Have You Heard?, is proudly presented by Nissan. Nissan has the right truck or family hauler for your needs, along with legendary Nissan durability. Test drive a Frontier or Armada at a local dealer today, or point your browser to nissanusa.com, where you can use the build and price tool to configure a Nissan that fits your lifestyle. And if you love your truck as much as we love ours, then why not give it the best lubricants money can buy? A pioneer in synthetic lubricants for more than 50 years, AMSOIL products deliver wear protection, engine cleanliness, and fuel efficiency that conventional oils simply can't match. Whether you need oil, lube, grease, transmission fluid, car care products, filters, or even complete oil change kits, you'll find everything you need at AMSOIL.com. If you're a truck guy, then you're definitely a knife guy, and you should have a Kershaw in your pocket. All Kershaw knives, regardless of price point, come with a limited lifetime warranty and lifetime sharpening. Repair parts such as pocket clips, screws, and springs are readily available through the website, and the Kershaw lineup has everything from EDC knives that can be used and abused for under $50 all the way up to high-end collectibles. Thanks to our generous partnership with Kershaw Knives, Truck Show podcast listeners can get 40% off MSRP and free shipping over $50 by using the code 25TSP40 at checkout on the Kershaw.kaiusa.com website. When it comes to amazing adventure content, how-tos, and great storytelling, only one brand is doing it right in the print magazine space, and that's OVR Outdoor Vehicle Recreation. OVR is about getting out there in our vehicles to explore and discover the world around us. Get complimentary access for a year to the digital library or a discount on your print subscription today at ovrmag.com. Use the promotional code at Truck Show Podcast. Please support the Truck Show Podcast today by patronizing our sponsors. Have you heard? Holman is doing this podcast from his hotel room in Las Vegas. So we're not going to have too many interstitials and special effects on this one. I just got back from Washington, D.C., which we'll talk about on the next episode. I'm here right now in Vegas at the Mint 400. Got a lot of content from here as well. So a lot coming up. So I'm sorry this episode's late, but we're going to get to the news, and I'll fill you in on the rest of the stuff in our upcoming episodes. So let's hit it. The Cadillac Escalade IQL is one of the longest GM vehicles ever. In fact, it's longer than the Cadillac Escalade ESV, which is, of course, a Suburban. So the IQ, in case you didn't know, I think we've talked about it maybe once or twice on the show, is the all-EV version of the Escalade. It shares nothing with its gas-powered counterpart, nothing substantial. It's based on the Ultium platform, same as the Hummer, which is still 136.2 inches between the wheels, so wheelbase is awfully long. But now the body is 4.2 inches longer, making the entire length a whopping 228.5 inches. It surpasses the Escalade ESV by 1.5 inches. It's longer than the Jeep Grand Wagoneer L, itself a very long vehicle, as well as the Chevy Suburban or a Lincoln Navigator L. So if you want the biggest, baddest, longest EV Luxo barge on the market, then you are going to want to head over to Cadillac and check out the all-new IQL. For those of you who are fond of the key cars and key trucks, there's now a new Texas bill that's being proposed that would allow owners with key cars to register their imported Japanese trucks that are 25 years or older, essentially codifying those vehicles being in Texas. So because key car registrations are different, there's a patchwork throughout the states. Nobody is doing the same thing. Each state sets its own rules as far as registration, titling, and all that. It's caused a lot of headaches, especially for people who legally imported their vehicles under federal law. So there have been a few advocacy groups. One of them is Lone Star Key, which the founder of is David McChristian, and he tells Motor One in a statement that Senator Hancock from Texas that his bill is a big step toward making sure the 25-year-old Japanese mini vehicles can be legally titled and registered. And he personally contacted 180 Texas state representatives last year, asking them to look into the state DMV's mini truck policy when he found out there's a discrepancy in enforcement. So according to State Senator Kelly Hancock, Bill SB 1816, which was introduced on March 3rd, codifies protections for the imported Japanese mini trucks. And the new bill says that what qualifies as a mini truck is a miniature car, truck, or van or bus manufactured in Japan. And it has to have a combustion engine of 1.2 liters or smaller with a top speed of at least 50 miles per hour. These imported trucks have to have a speedometer, headlights, taillights, turn signal, windshield wipers, and a rear view mirror if the owner wants to title it and drive it on the state highways. So if you want to find out more, head to motor1.com. They've got a nice article that outlines the key trucks and how to get them registered. And that's going to take you guys in Texas who own these vehicles, or you passionate about the automotive industry, to call your representatives and help get this bill passed for the love of automotive enthusiasts everywhere. J.D. Power just released its dependability study, and for 2025, the most dependable pickup trucks are, so according to J.D. Power's 2025 U.S. Vehicle Dependability Study, the top vehicles for dependability for 2025 in large heavy-duty pickup truck are the Chevrolet Silverado HD and GMC Sierra HD. On large light-duty pickup, Chevrolet Silverado and GMC Sierra. On mid-size pickup, Toyota Tacoma, GMC Canyon, and Chevrolet Colorado. So interesting, considering there's a lot of 6.2 issues out there, but good on GM for making the list. And, of course, no surprise that Toyota is on there as well. I think you guys probably remember the story I did about the SVE pickup trucks. Well, if you like the idea of an SVE lowered sport truck, but you needed more seats for the family, they just launched the 2025 Sport Edition Supercharged GMC Yukon with up to 1,000 horsepower. And you can get that on the Yukon and Yukon XL. Are available through GM dealers in either two-wheel drive or four-wheel drive, and come with three different power levels: a 700 horsepower 5.3 liter V8, an 800 horsepower 6.2 liter V8, and a 1,000 horsepower, probably a 6.8 liter V8. So it basically mimics what we talked about on the pickup truck. So there are tunes for 91 and 93 octane, and there are additional upgrades that include 22-inch wheels, Brembo brakes, more aesthetics, things like that. So you can head on over to specialtyvehicleengineering.com for more information. And good news for everybody who's been waiting for the brand new 6.7 Cummins that does not have the heater grid bolt that's ready to fail and comes with the 8-speed automatic. It is reaching dealerships right now. I had a chance to drive it about a week and a half ago. I can't tell you about that yet, and I'm going to be spending a week with one here next week and beyond. All I can tell you is it's worth the wait, and I'll have a lot more information on an upcoming episode. So stay tuned, but if you don't want to wait for the info I have, head on down to your local dealership because they're arriving right now. According to the internet, dealers are starting to showcase them on their dealer lot. Moving right along, the Dodge Durango has the iconic racetrack taillight setup on it. Well, apparently there is a class action lawsuit that is going against Stellantis because they're saying that owners of the 2014 to 2023 Durango SUVs are experiencing water intrusion into the rear light assembly, and that's leading to widespread failure of this very expensive part to fix. The case is called Cranston et al. Versus FCA US LLC, and it's currently being debated in U.S. District Court in the District of Delaware. And it looks like there's key dates reaching well into 2027. But the next step is the joinder of parties and amended pleadings due by May 5th, 2025. All right, so now for some Mint news. This past week, and man, this week has been an absolute whirlwind for me, being in D.C. and advocating for the automotive aftermarket, as well as making my way over to Vegas to cover the Mint. And one of the more exciting things to come out of the Mint, or at least interesting things, you don't have to love it, But Chevrolet basically is promoting the launch of the EV version of the Silverado, the Evalanche, or the Silverado, as Chevy likes to call it. They have a Trail Boss off-road package that we talked about a long time ago. It's finally coming due, and to honor that, they built a ZR2 race truck. So the ZR2 EV version of the truck is participating in the open production EV class, or actually did today, and it uses 98% production parts and has 1,100 horsepower. So the ZR2 race truck has 13 inches of suspension travel in the front and rear, uses awesomely giant Multimatic shocks, has locking differentials, underbody skid plates, lifted suspension with 37-inch BF Goodrich KM3 tires, and it was piloted today successfully by Chad Hall. So the Silverado EV ZR2 was only required to complete one lap. It covered 73 miles. It started with 100% charge and still had 40% charge to go. Obviously, this is a prototype, but it was interesting to see yet another EV out there. Rivian has been campaigning their R1T, and it's cool to see something different out on the trail. So whether this will take the place of the gas trucks out there, probably not, but it's a good technology demonstrator for GM, especially to show how durable the Ultium EV chassis is. But when I had the Hummer EV, I could tell you that platform is very, very capable off-road and works exceedingly well. So kudos to my friend Chad Hall, and congratulations on completing the race today in your new EV race truck, campaigning that for General Motors. Can't wait to see what you do in the future with that. I believe Chad and the gang at Hall Racing are going to be out on the race course doing the full thing in their traditional race trucks tomorrow. And that'll do it for this quick episode of Have You Heard for the Truck Show podcast. This is, once again, your friend and host, Holman, coming to you live from Las Vegas in a hotel room. Haven't done this in a long time, so hopefully I can get this edited and out to you guys. Again, I'm sorry for the delay this week, but next week's show will be right on time. Thanks for sticking with me, and as always, see you next time.
The Truck Show Podcast is a production of Truck Famous LLC. This podcast was created by Sean Holman and Jay Tillis, hosted by Sean Holman, and uses production elements by DJ Omar Khan and Jay Tillis. If you like what you've heard, please open your Apple Podcast or Spotify app and leave us a 5-star review. And if you're a fan, there's no better way to support the show than by sharing it and patronizing our sponsors. Some vehicles may have been harmed during the making of this podcast.
I wasn't eavesdropping or anything, but that was like amazing. Are you like a podcaster?
I actually am a podcaster, yeah.
You like sound